Did former Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star Yolanda Hadid lie about Zayn Malik physically attacking her in order to get him deported out of the country? Well, that's the rumor that's going around. Welcome back to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel, where you get daily and consistent hot topics in music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. So, Yolanda Hadid, formerly of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, has been in the news a lot lately, but you may recall a story from late last year where there were some issues that happened between Zayn Malik, her daughter, Gigi Hadid, and Mama Hadid, Yolanda, while Gigi was away. I believe it was like Paris Fashion Week. That's unimportant. But this situation ended up being a legal situation where Zayn Malik had to release a statement. Well, now our friends over at Bravo and Cocktails has an anonymous story that reportedly is coming from a former assistant to Yolanda. So before we get into that, so again, it was reported back in October of 2021 that Yolanda Hadid claimed Zayn Malik had gotten physical with her after having an argument that ensued between them a month prior. According to TMZ, court documents alleged that Malik had been verbally abusive towards Yolanda and that he had, quote, shoved her into a dresser. But a lot of you, and I remember when I reported on the story initially, a lot of you were like, I don't know if we believe her. And this is not stemming from the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills incident. Where's Lisa Rinna when you need her? Who thought we would need Lisa Rinna? Well, according to an anonymous source that reached out to Bravo and Cocktails, they are alleging that Yolanda made this story up. But before we get into that, let's get into what Zayn Malik said at the time. He did release a statement on his social media basically saying, this did not happen. I was never physically aggressive towards Yolanda Hadid. This is what Zayn said in a statement. He says, as you know, I am a private person and I very much want to create a safe and private place for my daughter to grow up in. You guys may recall they have at the time, a 13-month-old daughter, Kai, with Gigi Hadid. He says, a place where private family matters aren't thrown on the world stage for all to poke and pick apart. In an effort to protect that space for her, I agreed to not contest claims. So that was the other part of the story. And everyone was like, wait a second, so he's admitting to guilt? Well, he says this: I agreed to not contest claims arising from an argument I had with a family member of my partner's who entered our home while my partner was away several weeks ago. He then says this was and still should be a private matter, but it seems for now there is a divisiveness and despite my efforts to restore us to a peaceful family environment that will allow for me to co-parent my daughter in a manner in which she deserves, this has been leaked, he put in quotes, to the press. I am hopeful, though, for healing for all involved with harsh words shared. And more importantly, I remain vigilant to protect Kai and give her the privacy she deserves. He also says, in regards to the report that TMZ had out at the time that he was physically aggressive towards Yolanda Hadid, he says, I adamantly deny striking Yolanda Hadid. And for the sake of my daughter, I decline to give any further details. And I hope that Yolanda will reconsider her false allegations and move towards healing these family issues in private. Say what you want about Zayn Malik. That sounded very clear and to the point. And as I've always told you guys, a lot of these stories and a lot of these media outlets are bought and paid by these celebrities so they can control the narrative of what is put out there. And as you saw, he says leaked to the press. We probably would have never known about this situation because by the time we did find out, I believe it was already a couple of weeks, if not a month, by the time we found out about these allegations. So this is what Bravo and Cocktails anonymous source is saying. The post reads, word on the street from her former assistant, Yolanda Hadid's former assistant, is that this ex-housewife and mama to top models made the whole thing up about her daughter's baby daddy. She didn't like him.
Ooh, there's a lot going on.
But there was more. They said there's more to Pretty Little Liar. She wanted him to be sent to England to be done with him, as in he can't come to the States at all. Deported. It goes on to say this too. It says completely fabricated the story, but since he's not exactly sober, it's easier to get over on him. As you know, Zayn Malik has been open about his own sobriety issues. There have been reports when that story came out that he was still struggling with issues of sobriety. And apparently there were shakeups in his team, that he was losing his team, his record deal, those types of things. So they go on to say completely fabricated the story, but since he's not exactly sober, it's easier to get over on him. Like she had his people in her pocket. She had his people in her pocket. Real dark stuff. I don't think her daughter or his baby mama knew the plan. Gigi, allegedly. Don't think her sis did either. Bella Hadid. As you know, they've been in the news recently that Yolanda Hadid allowed Bella to get a nose job at the age of 14, which sparked everyone highlighting old video footage of Yolanda Hadid's questionable dieting habits that she seemingly forced on her children. That was on footage. So this story is interesting to me, and do I believe it? Part of me does. Part of me believes that something is not 100% about Yolanda Hadid. Not when we had her on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and now these stories that are coming out now. It wouldn't shock me that she would want to control that whole situation. She came across like a controlling mother on Beverly Hills. Well, we shall see. Everything has remained quiet on that front for now, but you may recall the fallout of this. Gigi Hadid did confirm that her relationship, her on again and off again relationship with Zayn Malik, was over. No word on whether or not they've gotten back together, but they do have a child that they have to co-parent. This is a mess. But it's Friday. Guys, let's continue the conversation below. I want to know your thoughts, and what do you believe? Do you believe this anonymous source from this former assistant that it was Yolanda Hadid that lied about the situation in order to get Zayn out of the country? Seems crazy. Seems like something made for reality TV or Lifetime. Let's continue that conversation below. And as always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. Thanks for watching.